monthly. Feel the thrill of 74 channels of Ultra TV. Feel the rush of the cable's 35 megabyte Bolt internet. Maximum streaming entertainment is free with HBO Max and the ultra convenience of the Platinum Loyalty Mastercard. Shop, save, share, and don't forget, get a free internet upgrade when you pay your cable bills with Platinum Loyalty Mastercard. Not a cable customer? Sign up today and get more out of your internet, TV, shopping, and payment experience. The Cable's Value Bundle, Ultra TV, Internet, free HBO Max, and Platinum Loyalty MasterCard at $250 value for only $157 per month. Call the Cable 465-2588 and come experience the value.
All right. Wow, I made it. I ran a red light to get here. Welcome to episode 84 of Only Good News. I'm a little bit under the weather. I should be resting, but actually been down since last week. Last week, my birthday was a bit telling that this was going to be a bit of a difficult week. So I think you might hear that I might be or sound a little bit nasal, but anyway, I'm here because this show helps me. The more I think about spreading things that are positive, is therapeutic for me. So at the end of the night, I will be on a bit of a high. So that's why I came here. First of all, thank everybody for all the birthday wishes. I have been a bit naughty. I haven't acknowledged some I got on Facebook, but I will before the week is over. I did have a little getaway to Nevis, Hamilton Beach and Villas Spa and Resort. I can't remember the name of the place, but it was a bit of a gift that I was given by somebody who felt that I needed to get away, and I can't thank her enough for that experience. I got to actually rest, which was my first true break since COVID, since 2020, since June of 2020. And I need more of those moments, and I've been told to work breaks into my schedule. So let's hope that the next couple of months I will be able to factor that budget for these staycations. They're pretty good. I did miss my daughter. She wasn't able to come with me, but I got to feel her spirit when I got to the hotel room, and because it was wide, it was clean, it was 2 bedrooms, all marble floors, everything just pristine. And for a split second, I had this sense of elation. I just started running up and down the hallways, just making these weird noises, which is what she does in my house, which signifies when she's happy. She did it today. She does it every day. She just comes and she just runs up and down the hallway, just in glee, full of life. But anyway, that was last week, and that was my birthday, and I am now 40. Last week's show was 40 Shades of E, and I was told that it was very interesting. But today I am blessed with a guest that's going to be interesting because, like I said in my promo post, we've never spoken before, haven't met her before, but we'll see where this leads us. It'll be remiss of me, and I know this is a show about good news, but there's something I want to touch on. The shooting that happened in Texas. And I see there's an outcry for gun control laws and beefing up security in schools and all of that. And I'm saying all of that's a band-aid to the problem. A lot of what we're going to talk about today is going to reflect on the need for certain things to be done right from an early age. And I'm talking about core skills like socialization and empathy and people skills right from an early age. Like, if you have to ask yourself the question, if the paradigms that we're currently employing in our schools, like the ones that we ignore, how are they impacting the future generation? If more of an emphasis is made on teaching empathy, which can be taught, empathy can be taught, kindness can be shown, all of these things, the chivalry, all of these things can be modeled right from an early age. And I'm not saying this because of some hypothetical experiment or whatever. I'm seeing it with my daughter. I've been very intentional with the foundations that she's getting during these formative years, 0 to 8. And big shout out to Kimon and Kimon and the Key Babies Childhood Learning Center as an early child. I can't remember the full name, but she's gonna kill me for that. But she always said, listen, if you want your children to look and sound like a genius, don't send them here. Because my goal is not to get them to read and write as quickly as possible, but more so, how do they express themselves from an early age? How do they relate to each other from an early age? How do they communicate with each other? How do they understand their emotions from an early age? And that trumps ABC 1, 2, 3 in my books. So I've never been one to go and boast about how my daughter can read or write or count or whatever. No, in fact, she struggled with reading just until this year when it just clicked for her. She's 6. But her social skills, her level of empathy and kindness, all of that's been taught from an early age. My daughter's not going to hit anybody. She's been taught not to hit. Well, not just by the school, but I've reinforced those values with her understanding those do's and don'ts and those people's skills, and she knows how to express herself. And so I want to see more of that emphasis placed on these core skills that are lacking in our lives when we evolve from adolescence to teenage years to adulthood. A lot of even the politicians and all of you can trace some of these same issues and deficiencies back to something that happened during those formative years, what was lacking. And so I would want to definitely see more of an emphasis placed on that. So that's my little rant, my little tirade. I'm not going to go too much deeper into that. All right, now top stories, at least locally. I did see some posts on social media reflecting the fact that government employees got their 10% increase and also back pay. And so while this is a political hot topic, I will say any increase is good. Okay? I don't care. Sometimes the good is absolute. Okay? You can talk about whether it's to manipulate or whatever. Once you know once you know how you can use that to enhance your life for the greater good, then it's absolute good. So I'm happy for all those persons who work for the government who have gotten their 10% increase, and a bit of a windfall because it did have back pay back to January. So pretty happy that now people are going to be able to go to Music Fest, right? All right, so now let's talk on some more stories that I saw. We've seen some of these stories. I've talked about some of these stories where persons get their college debt being paid for. Last week, I spoke about college debt being paid for about, I think, $400,000 at that particular college, but this one's about $10 million. Here, students learn at graduation that the Snapchat founder paid off their college debt with more than $10 million. Now, graduating seniors at an LA art school were overwhelmed with joy, getting ready to make their walk in cap and gown when they heard that they'll be receiving more than just a diploma. You see, the 284-strong class of 2022 from Otis College of Art and Design would have the entire student loan debt paid off by the college's most successful alumni, Snapchat co-founder Evan Spiegel. Totaling an undisclosed and record-breaking gift of more than $10 million, Spiegel's donation was added to by Core Beauty, founder of Miranda Kerr, Spiegel's wife, and a partner in the Spiegel's Family Fund. Now, it says, it changed my life and made me feel at home, he said, who took summer classes at Otis during high school. He told the graduating class, says, I felt pushed and challenged to grow, surrounded by super talented artists and designers, and we were all in it together. So, yeah. Can't wait for those types of things to happen when people are not in school. Anyway, people have car loans and mortgages and all that kind of stuff to pay for. But anyway, there's another one here. Big Brothers, Big Sisters receives. We just talked about 10 million. This was another one. $122 million from Mackenzie Scott. Oh my gosh, Mackenzie Scott. So the charity Big Brothers Big Sisters of America has accelerated into the fast lane towards transforming youth mentorship in the United States with Tuesday's $126 million from philanthropist Mackenzie Scott. The 180-year-old nonprofit will use a record-breaking gift to further its mission to ensure that every young person has access to powerful one-on-one mentoring relationships that empower them for success in school, career, and life. Yeah. Ms. Scott has given away, believe it or not, about $8 billion in the past 2 years to hundreds of charities since her divorce left her with 4% of Amazon's shares, including recently donating $460 million to Habitat for Humanity. So, yes, if you guys know Jeff Bezos, that's his ex-wife, and she is using her proceeds from the divorce for the greater good. All right, let's see here. Oh, I love this story. And you're going to understand why. IKEA is going to start selling solar panels in some of their stores in the U.S. this fall. And I'll tell you why this is a big deal. The popularity of solar has gone through the roof, and now IKEA is making it easy to install some panels on your roof. Launching this fall in California, members of the U.S. IKEA Family Customer Loyalty Program will be able to purchase some home solar solutions available through SunPower. Oh, I know that company. To generate and store their own renewable energy and live more sustainably. Now, I'll tell you why this is a big deal. You see, when we're building our houses now, especially in the Frigate Bay area, or I think in the Milliken areas or some areas, there are regulations that stipulate that you must have a cistern. Okay, you must have a cistern. It's mandatory because it's best for when you don't have water or when water is in short supply, or just so as to not overwhelm the water supply. Why is it not easy for stipulations to say if you're building a house, we will give you a credit or some tax break to include some form of renewable energy so that you don't overwhelm the grid, and also you're able to save money on your electricity? Why? In fact, these homes that are being built by these politicians, I am so shocked that there is not one initiative that I've seen to foster renewable energy, like private on your premises. And now we're bawling about Skelec being, having issues or whatever, but these are solutions that make sense. Anyway, IKEA seems like they care. You see what I did there? It's a terrible joke. All right, next story here is piggybacking off of what I was saying earlier. This is going to be my final story because we're kind of running out of time. So parents are most proud of their child's ability to show empathy and kindness, says new poll. Yes, parents are most proud of their child's ability to be compassionate, display kindness, and go above and beyond to help and support a friend. A poll of 1,000 parents with kids aged 3 to 7 also revealed seeing their offspring demonstrate selfless qualities evoked feelings of pride. Yes. On average, parents left their moms and dads feeling delighted 6 times a week from their display of these caring traits. Now, 84% see these qualities shine through when their kids interact with their friends. Now, the research was commissioned as a part of the launch of the inaugural Thomas and Friends International Friendship Day Awards, which honor the best examples of friendship shown by UK children over the past year. Now, the research has really highlighted the importance of parents put on ensuring their children build great relationships at an early age. Friendships can teach a child so many things, and the survey has illustrated many of the positive impacts that give parents a sense of pride. I can't say that enough, and I can't stress that enough. A lot of the problems that we're having is the lack of emphasis on these core values that will go a long way towards making the world great again. And on that note, I'm going to stop there. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with my guest. She's on Zoom. She's not in the studio, but she'll be here. I'm going to bring the energy. We're right back.
At The Cable, we're building a network that delivers exceptional service and value where it matters most. But what really makes our network powerful is all of you. Like Alison, who sent us this voice note to say thanks for coming out on Christmas Eve.
I just couldn't believe when they showed up at my door on Christmas Eve like Santa to fix the problem. It was truly the best gift.
We may not be Santa, but we do know that our customers are a gift and we are powered by the moments we make together. We are The Cable and we are proudly powered by people.
And we are back. Tamara, can I see you? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, clap once. Oh, you clapped 3 times.
3 claps.
You clapped 3 times. I hope you
I
don't.
can't see you, but I can hear you.
You can't see me, but you can hear me. But I could see you though. I could
Good
see
to
you.
be seen then.
Oh, you went all out for this show.
Yeah, but I have to represent.
Wow, you're on point.
Yeah,
The callers are working. They're working for you. Don't fire them.
Oh no, that's the first time I'm using my background, so
Oh,
let it shine.
this is the first time I'm seeing you in the background that's not lush with greenery and everything.
You know, I was thinking about it, but I figured the time that you're doing this, it'll be nighttime, and the area that I live in, there's wildlife out there. So I'm not fond of raccoons and all the other things that roam around.
We know you're not fond of squirrels, so.
No.
Big.
It's not that. It's that one squirrel. It's just that one.
It's just that one?
Just that one.
Awesome sauce. So thank you for accepting my invitation. And I mean, how are you doing, by the way? How are you? Like, you good?
I'm actually doing well. I mean, I work nights, so I got off this morning. I haven't slept yet, so if my eyes are looking baggy, y'all forgive me.
Oh, I can't tell.
Yeah, but it's my night off tonight, and if I had slept during the day, then I would be up all night, and that made no sense. So, yeah.
So what was the highlight of your week?
Let me think if I had one.
Oh.
Highlight of my week.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of anything. This actually has been a really stressful week for me because I worked most of it. And so the patient load that I had and the care that they required was just a little bit too much, you know?
Okay,
so,
we'll get into
but
that.
I watered my plants and they didn't die this week. Normally they get wilted when I don't water them for a few days. So I saved them this week. So that's a good thing.
What kind of plants?
I have aloes. Well, they're on my porch. I'm creating a little zen area. And I forgot the names of them. Oh my gosh, I can't think. But I'll probably post a picture one day.
You have aloe.
I don't
you have
the names of them, but they're really pretty. And they're good for the environment and for like oxygenating and, you know, they have like great benefits for indoors. So
plants with benefits. I like that. So I'm curious now, what went through your mind when you saw my message asking you to be on my show, and what was the convincer? Because, you know, that was pretty random.
Well, okay. So there's this guy on Facebook, Carl, And so he had invited me. You remember? You know him, right?
I know, Carl.
Yeah. So him and I had had many conversations, and
He's my cousin.
we discovered, huh?
He's my cousin.
Is he?
Yes.
So, well, I discovered that he's into music, and I have a thing for the violin and the flute. Oh my gosh. And so when I shared that with him, he was like, I'm creating this Facebook group. And then I saw you there and you were playing your musical parts. I'm like, wow. I mean, this guy kind of knows what he's doing. So, and that's how I got introduced to you. And then hearing you speak on certain things, I was like, okay, I can see myself having a conversation with this guy. So when you invited me, it was like kind of a no-brainer.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I think this is serendipitous because when I would hear you talk, and let me just say this, right? The Facebook algorithm showed me one of your videos. The first video that it showed me was how Kittians pronounce words. Right, that was the first one that I saw, and I said, who is this person? And you had a bit of a twang to what you would, how you're pronouncing words. I was like, oh, okay. And then I took notice of it, but I didn't pay much attention until there was a next video that caught my attention. That was the one about how, you were walking on a beach, and it says you're not supposed to look into your partner's phone because you're not going to like what you see or something. And I don't spend a lot of time on social media consuming content. I don't have a lot of disposable time for that. But for some reason, when I'm scrolling, and even if I am not hearing what you're saying, your eyes communicate, and your head movements communicate, and it says, I'm telling a story and I care about what I'm saying. And then hearing it, the voice that goes along with it, it just keeps me. And so at some point I said, you know what, I have to have her on my show. And I braved it and I asked you, and now you're here. All right, so
thank you for inviting me, though.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. Listen, say whatever I'm supposed to say, I'm throwing it back at you. I'm going to test you and see how much of a vibe we have, because we've never spoken before. This is our first conversation.
A test already, though?
Yes, a test.
I get test anxiety. Like, you're going to make me start sweating. I have on a good shirt, man.
You're not going to sweat, girl. Come on. Just relax. It's just to see whether you are capable of laughing at some of my dad jokes. That's all.
Oh, my gosh. I've heard those.
You've heard my jokes? You haven't heard my jokes.
I mean, I have a thing for nerds.
Okay.
And nerds make very corny jokes, dad jokes, if you will.
I have two volumes of jokes. I released 2 volumes of jokes. So here's I said some of these last week, but let's see if we can get you, but my daughter was here and I didn't have anyone to laugh or give me feedback. So she was laughing and not even understand. She's my greatest fan. In fact, she's such I
think she did that because she's your daughter.
No, she's so much of a big fan. She's an air conditioner, right? You laughed. All right, there you go. So yeah, goodbye. All right, so here's the first one. All right, Tupac and Biggie had a diet that was high in protein. Do you know why?
No. Because
they always had beef.
See, that one went over my head. I'm not into rap.
They had beef, man. All right. Here's another one. What do you call a dog that has a very low voice? Low bark or something, yeah. Barks really low.
I don't know.
A subwoofer. All right, she laughed.
You really created that, though?
Yes, I created all of these ones. All right, here's one I haven't released yet, but I'm going to release it in the next week or so.
Okay.
So this is exclusive. So why is it that a Doberman makes a very bad witness in court?
I have no idea.
Because they always short on details. Doberman have short tails.
No, I don't think that one's a good one.
They have short tails.
I think my almost 15-year-old can give you some competition with the
Wait. I haven't hit. All right. So cannibals were brainstorming on what to serve at a banquet. Do you know what they actually ended up serving as appetizers?
People?
Finger food.
Okay. All right, that one was.
All right.
You get 2 thumbs up on that one.
You get 2 thumbs up for that one. All right, and okay. Last one. Hold on.
Make it a good one, you know.
I'm trying.
I don't want to embarrass you on your own show.
No, I cannot be embarrassed. I embarrass myself.
Okay. We're cool
Okay.
then.
All right. So, boxers, do you know their favorite juice?
A boxer's favorite juice?
Yeah, like their favorite beverage.
I don't know, box juice?
Fruit punch.
Oh, boxers is in the athlete.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the dog.
Oh, I like that. I like that you went there. But
I went there.
you went there.
My brain thinks weird, man.
All right, so
I
we
can't
could.
help it.
Okay, we could vibe. You laughed at my jokes and you chastised some of the bad ones, and that's good.
Yeah, you had like 1 or 2 good ones.
No, listen. I have 2 volumes, and so another time I would just, you can just rate them 0 to 10, and just tell me, yay or nay. And
Okay.
we'll be good to go. I used to get beat up for this actually when I was growing up. So.
For telling bad jokes?
Yeah. Back in school, like it was a thing. Like that was. In fact, now I'm 40, and my class actually last week when they gave me like birthday wishes, I launched a new joke in the chat group as a way to give them homage to appreciation for their wishes, and obviously they sent me like memes and whatever beating me. So
was
yeah.
it like good memes though?
No, like throwing me into the pond and the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. So, but
I think you should kind of give up there, buddy.
No, I am determined. I am determined.
But you know what?
What's
I
up?
think one of the best things is when we can laugh at our own jokes. So if you can laugh at your own jokes, that's a good thing.
Of course. Why would you be laughing at me and I'm at my expense? No, you can't. That's free. That's free laughs, man. You can't laugh for free. I have to partake in the laughs.
I mean, if the delivery is bad and the joke is bad, then I'm laughing at you.
But
that's a different story.
But the intention is to appear to give a bad joke to try to look good. And so I have the last laugh. That's my brand of comedy, by the way. Like people who are really rich can appear to be poor because they know when they need to look rich, they can do it. They can dress scruffy and whatever. Now, people who are really smart can also appear to be really stupid because they can always fall back on that. So that's my brand of comedy. Like I intentionally tell the worst. I make it look like I'm trying, so that I get the laugh. I'm like, you think you're laughing at me, but I made you laugh at the attempt, which is a brand of comedy.
In this case, you did. So I'll give you points for that.
That's it. So, all right, I'm winning. So let's start. I know 3 Liddies in St. Kitts: Kevin Liddy, my former student, Orville Liddy, and Andrea Liddy. Are you connected to any one of them?
They're my cousins.
Whoa, sweet.
Like first cousins.
Yeah, there's a Liddy look,
Is it? Tell me what the Liddy look like. Come, tell me.
It's the mouth area. There's something about it.
I have my mom's lips. She's not a Liddy. So come again.
I don't know, but all I know is that Orville, Kevin, and Andrea, they all have this. I don't know. I just look at you. I'm like, okay, there's the Liddy look. All right. I just wanted to find out if there was a connection. So.
And see, I thought it was the eyes.
No, I'm not. I don't know much about eyes, to be honest. I don't pay much.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So there's a connection. All right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go back to so your formative years, right? Did you spend them in St. Kitts?
Hold on, let me turn my volume up. I lived in St. Kitts until I was 15 years old.
Oh.
And I migrated to New York City. Actually, Bronx, New York.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, what from those 0 to 8, right? What was it like growing up here in St. Kitts? What were those things that you knew definitely influenced who you are today? At least the positive things during those years.
You see, so this is where I probably won't be like a very good guest because I can't think of many positive things.
Okay.
I had a really bad childhood.
Okay.
So thinking of the positive things, even as an adult, I struggle to do that. I really do.
But you're
but-
exuding
but-
a lot of positivity. So
Because I had to work to create that as an adult, actually since I was a teenager. So this has been lots of years in the making. It's not just something that was ingrained or that came with me from childhood. It's what I wanted to become. And so I had to work to become who I am today. Because the path I was going down because of the way I was raised was a very dark one. But I will tell you this, I did enjoy the beach. Those were fun times because especially during the summer when, my mom would go out working and she said, okay, this is what I need you to do. I need you to wash the clothes, wash the dishes, clean up the yard. And it's a dirt yard and you have no grass, but she wants you to sweep it up. I'm like, why am I sweeping dirt? But it's a different story. And she wanted me to do all of these chores every single day. But in my mind, look, the seawater looks good, okay? And it's on my name. So I go in down there. And that's what I did. And I used to go into the seawater every day till my hair turned orange.
Whoa.
And I would, it stripped my hair. So I actually had orange hair. But then I would get a beating every day because by the time she came home from work, I'd be in the water. So, yeah, and getting beaten while you're wet is no fun. But while I was in the water, oh my gosh, it was the most amazing times. We actually used to get like skinnips, like during the summer and stuff. We get skinnips or mangoes and we would just throw them out into the water and we go diving them up. Those are amazing times.
Wow. So you can swim well.
Of course. Yes. I'm an island girl. And my dad is a fisherman. So I've always been exposed to the water. I always tell people seawater runs through my veins. It's just who I am.
My daughter has been asking me to go fishing forever, and I think that's something I'm going to. I think I'm the one who's scared.
Why? Are you afraid of the fish?
Yes!
It's food.
I don't want to think of a live fish. She does it. She has no problem holding a live animal in her palms. Like that's something.
That's actually the one animal that I don't mind catching, and I won't say killing it, but allowing it to die, and won't have a problem with it. Anything else, I would be weeping. So I don't kill animals, but fish is food. And to share a very quick story. One summer, I sent my son to St. Kitts. I think he was about 8 or 9 at the time. And my mom took him fishing and he caught this little fish. I think it was a snapper, but it wasn't any bigger than about this. And my mom showed it to me. I'm like, hey, you better scale that thing, season it up and fry it because that's good eating. I'm eating that. I'm eating my son's first catch. I'm like, don't throw it back.
Oh.
So I ate his first fish.
So it made its way all the way back to the U.S.?
Yes, she fried it, froze it, and shipped it to me. Well, he came with it. So, yeah, and I ate it. It was a small little thing, but it was so good. I don't throw fishes back. That's food, man.
Yeah, I it's on my list of things to do this year. I do want to, because she is at one with nature. She is a nature. She just wants to be catching bugs, lizards, bird chasing, ant hunting, the whole works. So yeah,
foster that. That's a good thing.
Oh, I love it. By the way, people on the live, Jacqueline Weeks
That's my
That's your
mom.
mom. Yeah, she said. I think when you're talking about when she was lashing you, she said stop playing, and then
Of course you would say that.
and then Shelly Cross says she mashing you up. I guess you're mashing me up. Okay, all right, that's okay. That's part of it. So now you went to New York as a teen.
Yeah.
What did you have any culture shock and during that?
Man, it was culture shock like no other. Now, keep in mind, when we're in the Caribbean, one of the things we are raised with is mannerisms. And so whenever we pass by anyone, it's almost expected for us to say good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Yep.
Well, picture me in New York City, where hundreds of people, it appears, is walking across the street at any given time, and I'm trying to cross the street, and this is me, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And I'm like, these people are ignoring me. What is going on? And I was like, how rude. So I couldn't comprehend at 15 why everyone was just passing me by and not just acknowledging me and just saying good morning or whatever time of the day it was. And so I had to learn to keep my mouth shut. And I'm like, well, this is different because that's not how I was raised. So, and then when I went to school, they didn't wear uniforms. And the girls had these big hoop earrings and they had multiple piercings and they wear really short shorts. The teachers would go outside to smoke. And I'm like, where am I? I was so appalled. I'm like, are you kidding? Did you see that teacher out there smoking? And I was like, I mean, you just never saw that growing up. I remember being beaten because my tie was off in St. Kitts. And I was literally just about to walk down the alley to my house.
Wow.
But the principal drove by and she saw me. Oh, Tamara, come to the principal's office tomorrow. You should be wearing your ties. You're wearing school attire. I'm like, oh, crap. Well, the next day she whooped my butt because I didn't have my tie on. So things like that was like stuck in my head. Like, how am I getting beaten for not wearing a tie after school right above the street to my house? But yet here in New York City, teachers are smoking. They're wearing whatever they want. And it's like, they're cursing, the cursing. I was like, oh my goodness. I was just like, I'm not going to survive in this place. It was really, really different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I had culture shock when I went to the US, but not that well. Yeah, I guess it was similar. But that's a big shock. So how did you adjust to making friends and who again in those parts?
Well, I'll tell you when I do. I'm still no good at making friends. I've never quite been. I had about three really good friends in St. Kitts. One of them passed away last year. But since I came here, it's been very difficult for me to make friends because one, the culture here is so different from what I grew up knowing. And I kind of hold on to that because it's a comfort for me. Being raised in the Caribbean with the values that were instilled in me, even though some of them were really harsh and kind of made no sense when you think about it, that's what I know. That's what was ingrained in me. And so being here, some of the times I'm talking to them and they're like, what do you mean by that? I said what I meant, but it's not insulting. Like, I didn't say it to hurt your feelings. It's just something we say. So I'm like, you know what? To avoid all that mess, I don't need friends. So I just do without.
We have some similarities that we will explore after the show.
Okay.
Just touching base on the live. Calvin Turnquest says fish is food, but you were running from fish during your live. Shelly Cross says, but did you see the rats in the square? I'm not sure.
Oh man, I'll get to the rats in a minute.
Go ahead.
But hey, Calvin, that was a big fish. And I was doing my first live. Man, I don't know if you guys saw the splash in the back of me. It was a huge fish. Even I know as a fisherman's daughter not to take chances. I like my life. Thank you very much. But onto the rats, them things are not rats. They are big like cats. And I can tell you this because I used to work at the New York Blood Center and I worked the graveyard shift. So when I got off, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I have to walk to the train station down in Manhattan. And at that time of night, you see the rats come out. I'm like, good Lord, man, look at these things. They're cats.
They're
They
pets.
are huge.
They're pets.
And they just walk by you like it's nothing. I'm like, they're comfortable.
It's all that
So I would just
McDonald's.
sidestep and move out the way.
Sweet. You know, one of the things that I love about this dynamic is that a lot of the questions I was going to ask, you've covered them in procedural order. So that's what I would call
That's a good thing.
serendipitous. Oh yeah. One thing I'm interested in, because I've heard you talk about your night shift, and you know it sounds like you work in the medical field. So what is that? Are you a nurse, or what is it that you do?
So I'm a registered nurse. I work in the ICU department.
Oh.
And I've always been working night shift since I've been a nurse. Actually with my other jobs too, but yeah, I work at night. And so it's just a little bit better for me than day shift. But it does take a toll, you know, because your circadian rhythm is just thrown off, and you don't really get to spend time with anyone. Hence the reason I probably don't have friends as well, because I have no time for anyone. When they're wanting to go out to party, I have to sleep for work. So,
Wow.
and but it's just something I've always done. But nursing is what it is.
What's the best part about what you do?
I get to touch people in their most vulnerable times. When they look their ugliest, when they feel the crappiest, I get to meet them when they're feeling hopeless, when they feel like they have no other choice, they are facing death probably, because again, especially in the ICU,
Yeah.
most times you either come there to die or possibly get better and downgrade to a lower acuity floor. And so everyone's scared, from the families to the patients. And so when I get to introduce myself to them, you know, I try my best to take them away from that reality and just have them focus on that moment with me. Like, hey,
Wow.
you're in great hands. I'm going to take care of you to the best of my ability. And we're going to keep you alive. While I'm on shift, you will be staying alive. Now that didn't always happen, but I always put that intention out there. I always put that out there to my patients, that just, you know, be nice to me, because some of them are really nasty to nurses. Be nice to me, be courteous, and you will have the best nurse you can ever ask for.
Wow. That, I wasn't expecting that answer. It was it's a humble, and also it's not an answer I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I wasn't expecting anything, okay? But it was just different from, you know what I pictured when you said that? I pictured somebody who's a billionaire who is in your care. And at that moment, you're the one who is giving them hope. It's not their money. It's nothing. It's you being present. And
I've had that where I've taken care of billionaires before.
I know.
And I've also taken care of homeless people before. And the care is no different. But what they do walk away saying is that, you know what? Tamara was a really good nurse to me.
But don't you find...
I take pride in that.
But don't you find that this... I'm sensing a lot of what you're saying is a culmination of your being intentional about your growth, and developing this knack for feeling and empathy. This is all coming full circle. So I think you're the epitome of a nurse, not a nurse who just wants to be paid to do nursing. This is almost like a calling for you.
It is. It's never been about the money, because to be frank, they don't pay nurses nearly enough.
I thought your name was
They
Tamara.
really don't. So.
You said, to be frank, I thought your name was Tamara. Anyway.
No, I'm not being frank. I mean, something that still was frank.
All right. People, your mom says she's very proud of you, and Shelly Cross was talking about Independence Square, by the way. Anyway, wow, this is going so good. I mean, do you concur? Do you concur?
I feel like really chilled and really calm right now. See, you told me that there is no topic, and so I'm like, what in tarnation is this man going to talk about? Am I going to talk about the time I misinterpreted what a doctor was trying to tell me with the whole cultural shock, or am I going to be talking about the type of videos I make, or what? I was like, huh?
I get that all the time, and I always tell people the show is about you. You know all the answers, and I rarely ask questions that persons are uncomfortable with. And even when I've had politicians on the show, they don't talk politics. I'm like, how can you have a politician on your show? You don't talk politics. I'm like, they're human beings.
They are. And I think we're missing that. We're so focused on who people are in public, who we know them to be outside of them as a person. We lose that type of human connection. Like, even politicians, pastors, it doesn't matter what your title is, you're still a human person. Like, I heard what the last minister that you had on your show, he was talking about wearing the mohawk and the piercing. Like, at the end of the day, he is a human being. Yes. Why are these people chastising someone for being their authentic self?
Thank you.
Why are they having to conform to an image that's acceptable to you?
Thank you.
Like, what makes you so special? Why should someone be pleasing you? Why not please themselves? Isn't that what we're trying to do? Live our best life and be ourselves? I didn't like that. I didn't understand it, but it's probably why I'm not a public figure.
So, when I had my daughter, she changed everything. A baby changes everything. So for you as a mom, how has that experience surprised you in ways that you like, in the good ways and lessons that you've learned, and also touch about the dynamics of raising a boy child versus a girl child? I mean, this can get deep, but this motherhood.
Okay, so, and what I'm going to share may not come off as an acceptable thing to say for a lot of people, but these are conversations that are normal in my household. I actually didn't want children.
All right.
I didn't. I pictured myself being very career driven, and because of the childhood that I had, I never wanted to bring a child into this world to expose them to that, because going back generations in my family, that has been the norm, and I didn't enjoy it. And so I didn't want to bring another human being into the world to expose them to that, because at one time that's sort of all I knew.
Okay.
Right? But then I got married, and my husband, his thing was, I'm gonna breed you. And I'm like, keep trying, it ain't gonna happen. But it happened. And so I got a boy. And he was everything. Yes, he was very sick when he was born, so I went through a very traumatic experience with him. And picture this, he didn't talk or walk until he was close to 3 years old. He was a premature baby. And I tried to prove these doctors wrong about what they were trying to say about this little boy. But by the time he started talking, the way he spoke, people sort of respected this little boy. And keep in mind, he's smaller than everyone his age. But when he speaks to you as if he's an adult. He has very intellectual conversations. Even to this day, sometimes I listen to him and I'm like, let me go look up that word. Right? He's a very smart boy, very introverted like me as well. But when you put him in the social scene, he lights up. It's like a completely different person. Very sweet, always looking for hugs and affection, which is different because I tried to instill that in him since he was little. Right. To try to let him know that boys need affection too. They need love. Ooh. And so if you're ever feeling like you need comfort, come to me. And so that's something he's always done. So like, for instance, today when I came home from picking up my daughter, he just came and just rested his head on my chest. And that's all he needed. And then it peps him right up and he moves on. He doesn't even have conversations with me sometimes. It's just needing that hug to move on. So that's different in a boy than what I see out there
Yeah.
But this is just the son that I was blessed with.
Wow.
And it's different than my daughter because, good God, this girl's a wild child. And I mean that. When I tell you, so my son, he'll do anything that he put his mind to.
Yeah.
But he's a very reserved person. He's into the books. He's into what NASA is saying, the planets, and he could name all the dinosaurs from A to Z. Like one time I literally sat there and he gave me a dinosaur name from A through Z. Very smart boy. My daughter, she is jumping on the hammock, but not just swinging. I'm like, what? Like, you know? And I'm like, good. There's a big hole in my hammock now. It just busted wide open. That's her. She's climbing trees. She's out there running around. Like, she's just so active and so spontaneous, and it's very different and very bold. I can tell you when I was pregnant with her, for the first time, I actually felt confident, which is a weird thing to say, but it's almost as if I was feeling her, right? And so it's just, I can say what I want to say now. I didn't just listen to people, disagree with what they said, and just kept it to myself. I stood up for myself more, and that's what she does. And it's just completely different personalities. And they have like a 7-year gap, but the bond between those two is insane. You would think they're like twins or like months apart.
Wow.
So they're nothing alike, but they're good. They're good kids.
I love that. I love that dynamic. Persons on the live, Calvin is saying, you live in America. What do you think happens to American politicians? He says, same house, but uniquely different kids. And Shelly Cross says, no, bold, you don't say. I think she's referring to your daughter or you. I'm not sure. But yeah, good going. We, believe it or not, like we have just about 5 more minutes. Tell you this thing.
Oh, wow.
So
Time
quick.
flew.
I know.
We should do this again.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about, which we're not probably going to get into, but I wanted to tap into your mind a little bit more to know about your vlogs and what goes into the topics that you bring up. So for instance, one of the ones that I saw and I listened to was and you said this, do we create monsters out of men? And that was a pretty deep one. Another one was how do you decide which man to size up and what qualities you consider valuable in a man? And you said you like nerds a lot. Another one that had me was insight on how a relationship can succeed if you're an overthinker and your partner's not a good company. I'm an overthinker. I've always had that. So, but yeah, these are all good topics for discussion. But I'm not going to bring that energy on this show. I like where we've gone with who you are as a person. And another time we can take one of those topics and have some banter. I did a show. I don't know if you've seen this, but last year I did a show on nice guys finish last, or do they? Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty good. I wanted to have part 2 of it where I would have and I had a male counterpart, and we went back and forth. But I also wanted to get the views of the women, of the women who pick jerks, like, why did you, and have that banter and then culminate with a conclusion of both parties having that back and forth. So, but some of the stuff that you create, the conversation starters that you do are necessary. They're difficult conversations that need to be had, and I appreciate you for bringing that to life. And
thank you.
Don't stop. I don't comment on them.
I wonder why.
I'm not a big. That's what I say. I'm not a big social media person, but I'm starting to evolve into that because of what I'm doing with my life and my entrepreneurship journey and stuff. So I will definitely when you perturb my psyche again with your thought-provoking stuff, I will be happy to, chime in. So
Cool.
So yeah, Tamara. Normally I would have, and not normally, I am going to have a rapid fire session, which is what I always end every show with. Just 10 questions I ask first person, and
Okay.
you just answer them as honestly as you can, and after that we'll be done.
All
All
right.
right. Number one, definitely, if I could bring this restaurant or eating place or street food from St. Kitts to Florida, it'll be this.
Fancy loaf.
Ooh, okay. Number two, for me, comfort food is.
It's probably weird, but mango.
Ooh.
Once I eat a mango, I'm in seventh heaven.
All right, next one. Number three. I can't believe this third is about food again. Ask me to cook this meal, and I can guarantee you I'm going to throw it down.
Don't ask me to cook food for you because it could go either way.
All right, number four. My superpower as a woman is.
Probably, I don't know, my compassion, empathy.
Compassion. Okay, I like that.
The compassion, yeah.
I like both of them. And then your eyes and the way you communicate, your ability to communicate. That's a superpower. Number six, you'll be surprised to know that I'm afraid of this furry but cute creature.
Oh, what am I afraid of? Actually, almost any insects.
Oh,
Yeah, slithery things like snakes and stuff, and they're always in my yard. But I don't kill them. Like, I can't kill animals, but I don't like little animals. I don't like animals, period. I like fish. I'll have a fish for a pet, but that's it. Everything else is a no-go.
okay. Number seven, I found a time machine to travel back to 2010 and I saw a younger version of me. This is what I would tell her.
Oh, wow.
Ah, got you stumped, girl.
I would tell myself, don't do it. And I won't say what don't do it is. Don't do it and just follow your heart and seek a career.
All right. Number eight, this is deep. If a movie were to be made about my life, this is who I would want to play me, and this is why you would not want to miss this movie at all.
I would want myself to play it.
Ah,
No one can play me better than me.
Okay, I can see that. All right, number nine, when all is said and done, this is what I want my legacy to be.
I want to leave a positive mark.
What about Luke
It's
and
me.
June and John? Any one of those? You'll leave them out anyway.
I'm sorry?
What about Luke and John and Matthew? Can't leave them
You're
out.
taking it to biblical days?
Say you want to leave a positive mark.
I'm not talking about the Bible.
I'm just playing with
I
you.
want to
dude.
leave a mark, but it has to be a positive one. I want that to be my legacy, where I was the one who stirred up the difficult conversations, and made it a normal thing to talk about those difficult conversations. You know, like caring about people, like genuinely caring about people, spreading love, all positivity.
Wow. All right. Number 10. I ask this question at the end of each show. Best part about being on the show is
That it's not staged. I found that to be very unique. It was scary, but definitely unique because it allows your guests to be themselves.
thank you.
And that's one of the best things that you could have done for me, because I don't want to pretend to be someone by answering specific types of questions or,
Thank you.
trying to appease the masses. I want to be me. So love me or hate me, this is me.
There you have it. That's Tamara Liddy. We just rhymed. You said this is me. I said Tamara. This is Liddy. So, I wish we could continue. I do like the dynamic that we've created. I'm just going to talk about people on the live here. They say, this says they pick jerks when they're young, but they go try nice guys when they're older. Shelly Cross says, Inoite, it's so nice to see that you've held on to your amazing personality. Lovely light show. Calvin says, Alicia Keys, got to be Alicia Keys to play you in a movie.
I mean, she can sing in the back, you know. I don't mind her singing.
Oh my gosh, Calvin is he's trolling me right now. He's
Oh my God, you should see him on my videos too. I mean, it's very good input for the most part.
He's
you know?
saying he wanted you to say meeting him. No, I did not want her to say meeting me. I think that what she said was exactly what she needed to say. That's the best part. She was herself, and that, to be very honest, that is why when persons ask me, what questions are you gonna ask me? I'm like, don't worry, I'm not gonna give them to you. Like, it takes away from the authenticity of the show. And
Absolutely, and I see that now. I did.
so, wow, I don't want this to end, but this has been great. I wasn't feeling well today, and haven't been well all week actually. So this has been the highlight of my day. So I owe that
Good.
to you. Those good vibes that you've been sending from Florida have come to the studio. And so I'm definitely going to sleep better tonight.
Well, I'm happy, and thank you for having me.
Awesome sauce. Well, I don't want this to end, but I'm going to end it anyway. I normally end by saying, don't forget to spread love and to be kind always. And next week, if who I have in mind is going to be on the show, you guys are in for another treat. It's a husband and wife dynamic, and people who are well known too in society. So we will see. I was asked to have them on the show. Hopefully they can say yes and commit to being on the show, but I can't wait for next week to come. And the week after, I'm going to have somebody else. But this has been good. And Tamara was just a wonderful guest, and I wish her all the best. And
Thank you.
that's it for tonight. Bye.
Bye.
At The Cable, we're building a network that delivers exceptional service and value where it matters most. But what really makes our network powerful is all of you. Like Alison, who sent us this voice note to say thanks for